I'm bad at intros.
That's okay. I'm the worst at intros.
Oh, we should have probably checked if that's... Okay. Hi. Welcome to my podcast. Today we have a special, very, 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 very special guest. My friend Violet.
That's me.
Which we met at our college.
Yep.
That was 2-3 years ago?
3 years, I think. Maybe 2. I don't know.
I'm losing track of time.
Yeah.
When we met, she said our friendship was dead.
Yeah, because she wants to move to LA. Which I'm here for her hopes and dreams. It's just that once she leaves, we'll never speak again.
That is not true. And you said that too, like, immediately when we met. I was like, I still have to finish college. I still have to, like, get a job. And look at me. I'm still here in Illinois.
It was weird how, I don't know, I've never met anybody who likes the same stuff as me. So it was so weird when, like, we met each other because it felt so right. Not to be cheesy.
It did. Because at the time, the, like, class we were in, you were friends with, I'm not going to say her name just because, like, not that I'm going to talk shit about her, but, like, whatever. Not that she watches my podcast. But she was very, like, not who we are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, she was very sweet, but she was, like...
She's different.
Yes. She liked other things. She had a different cup of tea going on,
yeah.
You know? But, yeah. We fit a lot more.
Yeah, we're meant to be.
We were meant to be.
Even though it's a dead friendship.
It's not a dead friendship. I remember, too, when we were in class, I think, like, a week after I met you, I was just, like, projecting my trauma, like I used to do all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you texted me, like, I think later that day or the next day, and you were like, I thought it was so brave of you that you, like, shared. And I thought it was the sweetest thing ever, because normally people, like, don't know how to respond to trauma. Yeah. They just make you feel worse.
Well, that's what happens when you have a lot of trauma yourself. But I do remember that. I remember, like, you telling me everything, and I was like, oh, so we're just getting right into it, huh? And then later that day, I told you all my trauma, and I was like, girl, I've been through the same thing. I get it. It sucks.
Oh, my God. The story I was thinking about, I wrote it down, like, before I went to sleep last night.
Oh, jeez.
And me and Violet go to concerts all the time together, okay? And you're probably one of the only people that, like, doesn't make me feel like I'm insane. Uh-huh. And
gotcha.
I think Sad Summer Fest was the last concert we went to before COVID. And,
I was looking at the picture over there. I was like, dang, I missed that time.
Yeah. Or no, was A Day to Remember our last?
Oh, A Day to Remember might have been the last one.
Yeah, that was the time before.
Yeah.
The, like, second to last. But remember when I fell in love with the kid at the rock show?
Oh my God. That was such a Okay, so am I allowed to tell the story?
Yes.
Okay, so we went to Sad Summer Fest, which, you know,
it's like a ripoff of Warped Tour, basically.
Yeah. It's like now that Warped Tour is dead, they're like, we're going to do something different. And Allie had, like, seen this guy, and we were standing next to his group the whole time, and Allie had seen this guy that she thought was, like, super cute, was super, like, she's like, I want to, oh, you were talking about your dream guy or not your dream guy, but, like, that you want a bad boy in your last podcast.
Yes, yeah.
And this guy, he's not very bad boy, but at the time she was like, I want a pop punk guy, like a guy I can go to concerts with, and the whole night, I kept telling her, I was like, you should just go ask him for his number. And she's like, no, like, I think that's, like, no, that's coming on too strong. Like, no, I can't. And I was like, just freaking go. And the whole night, we were just, like, looking at this guy. We were, like, trying to also be next to them, like, next to his group. We were, like,
behind him and his friend, like, the entire time.
The whole time we were trying to, like, stay close to his group. And then once, like, the whole thing ended, for, like, a whole week, she would keep texting me and be like, but I really want to find this guy. Like, I'm so determined to find him. Like, I might even make flyers to find this guy.
I did make flyers. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. And she's like, I'm going to post them around the city. And then I had this moment where I was like, I wonder if he was even from Chicago. Like, imagine she posts all these flyers around Chicago, and then this guy's from, like, Milwaukee or something like that. Like, you would have never seen.
I mean, I didn't, mind you, I didn't post flyers around the city, but I did, like, make flyers and post them all over the internet.
I do remember.
It was, like, the most retweets I got on Twitter. My friends were very supportive of me finding this kid, but obviously it wasn't meant to be.
No.
Maybe he, like, was a criminal or something, you know?
Yeah, he could have, like, killed you or something.
Or maybe he was gay. Maybe he didn't even like women.
That's also true.
Because, like, why wouldn't he ask for my number, you know? Like, I think
You're right.
He just wasn't attracted to me in that way.
I washed my hair for you. It's kind of, that's why it's all frizzy right
I
now.
like. Didn't I tell you to put teal in it last time?
Yeah, I think so. It was purple, but then it faded, and now it turned green. I don't know how.
I like the teal green.
Everybody really likes it. I hate it.
Why?
I don't know. I like the purple better.
I feel like purple is more of like a winter color.
It is very wintry.
Like this is very like bright and
summery.
Like aquamarine.
I hate summer.
Oh, okay.
Allie
I
loves
love summer. It's where I thrive. It's my favorite.
I hate shorts.
Love shorts.
I hate anything that shows skin.
I feel like we have our main common interest. I messed that up. Our main interest in common, but then like who we like are as people in daily life are like very opposite.
Oh yeah, but I feel like that's why we work. So
That's true.
As much as Allie is an astrology fiend, I also do enjoy astrology myself. Although I don't think I'm to the point where I'm like I couldn't date this person if they were like this.
Well, I'm not like that anymore. Okay, because
except a Virgo man, I would never date a Virgo man.
Why?
They're fucking psychopaths.
I'm trying to.
I have like a literal list somewhere like written down. I think it's in like one of my shadow books of like Virgo men that are like serial killers.
I think actually all the mutable signs, because that's like an energy that corresponds with certain signs, are like the most serial killers and like murders and stuff. Like Geminis, Pisces, Virgos, and maybe a Sagittarius too. Like all those four are like the top like most murderers, which makes sense. Yeah, it does. I think I only know like one Virgo man that's like a friend.
I actually don't know very many Virgo men, but I know a lot of people who have had bad relationships with Virgo men, and I know a lot of Virgo men that are serial killers, so I just don't trust them.
The only I used to hate Virgos, like both men and women. Now I love Virgo girls. I have a lot of Virgo friends.
When me and Allie first met and she found out I was a Virgo, she was like, she had a moment where she was like, oh. And then she asked me what the rest of my birth chart was. But she definitely had this moment where she was like, I don't know, like if... She even texted me, she's like, I don't really get along with Virgos. And I was like, what's gonna change?
Well, no, I just told you yesterday, like, I feel like Virgos specifically have, like, saved my life. They always, like, when I need advice, like, I go to my Virgo friends. But besides my one friend who's a male who's a Virgo, this kid that I went to high school with tried to get me to cheat with him on his girlfriend, and that was like my only Virgo man experience, like directly.
Because they're crazy.
And his girlfriend was beautiful, like drop dead gorgeous, like everyone thought she was the prettiest girl that we went to high school with. I never told her because I just thought it wasn't really my place, and they aren't together anymore anyways. And I
so you know it worked out.
Yeah, and I don't think she probably watches my podcast. If she does, and you have a feeling you know who you are, like message me and I'll spill the beans. You can like Kia's car now. Years later.
Yeah, Virgo men, and I hate Scorpios, and I hate Geminis. I actually had a recent situation where I, like, tried to be friends with this girl who was a Gemini, but I think there's, like, a part of her that really hates me, and so I'm just like, I think it's just not, I don't think I'm meant to be friends with Geminis.
Do you think that's you projecting that feeling, or do you think she actually
doesn't
like you?
I actually think she doesn't like me. And Cancers, I love a Cancer. People hate Cancers because they're super, like, emotional and babies, but I love a Cancer.
I used to hate Cancers. Like, they're my number one. Once, I think I told this story on here before that, like, I called into a radio station and I was like, what's your least favorite zodiac sign? And, like, I said Cancer, and I was like, I can't stand. And then I won a $100 gift card to, like, a restaurant in the city.
Oh.
So it, like, helped me out. But I used to hate them, and now I kind of like them.
I love a Cancer.
Like, I'm like, they can be sweet. And, like, one of my favorite people, who's one of my gym friends, which is kind of weird because he's, like, 37. But he's a Cancer, and he's one of the sweetest, most genuine people I've ever met. And, like, he never fails to put a smile on my face, like, anytime I see him. So I'm like, okay, I kind of like Cancer.
I don't think I've ever met a Cancer I didn't like.
I have.
At least in their sun sign. I don't think I have. I think that I've met a lot of Leos that I hate, but never a Cancer.
I love Leos. Oh my God, yes. I have so many Leo friends. The only Leo I've really had an issue with is my mother. But, like, that
checks out in a lot of places.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But, you know, people are either in your life for a reason, a season, or they're leaving.
Where'd you get that from?
Well, the reason or season thing I heard from The Bachelorette, I think.
Oh my God.
But it was I actually don't enjoy The Bachelorette.
Have you been watching The Bachelorette?
Weird. I have not. Have you? Do you watch it?
I, like, haven't really watched it that much for years, but this season, it's like, I'm not a huge fan of reality TV, but it seems more like real.
But the last Bachelorette, not Tayshia, but shit, I can't remember her name. The girl before that.
I don't remember.
She says that everyone's in your life for a reason, a season, or forever, or for a lifetime or whatever, but I didn't like that it didn't rhyme. So I changed it to a reason, a season, or they're for leaving. Because I don't like that it didn't rhyme.
That's true.
Segue.
Please.
Relationships. I feel like lately I've been dealing a lot with the changing of my relationships. So I think that has been like my motto for like quite some time right now. I've always been the kind of person who's never had a really big circle, but I think in my like deepest heart's desire, I've always wanted to be a part of something, and I've never really,
I feel like everyone does,
but I was never really in a part of anything bigger, so I always try to expand, but then I learned that, like, I don't really need to expand.
I've always been that way. I would rather have quality over quantity, because I feel like, especially too, like, when I've tried to expand having friends, not, like, gone out of my way, but, like, have made new friends, then I'm like, this is not, like, I don't like you. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? And I feel like the people that are actually, like, meant to be in your life for a long time, or like are genuine friendships, like you don't have to force them. You guys just like become, because when you think about like, oh, how did I become friends with that person, it's like it just happened naturally.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's so hard to keep people in your life for a long time.
Yeah,
like close people, because like friends like us, we don't see each other that much, so like it's like where will we have issues?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like things could still happen, but it's like generally like we go to each other to like confide or get advice, or like to like catch up and like just have a good time.
It's like a good like 2-hour therapy session whenever we see each other.
And I just like family is so difficult, and like relationships are so difficult, and I've learned that a lot this year.
So me twice. Did you watch Bo Burnham's thing?
Oh my god, yeah.
I was just wondering if you had seen it. Yeah.
Okay,
it's all over TikTok.
It is. Well, before it was all over TikTok, I watched it like the day it came out. Bo Burnham has a new special, and like it's so good. It's like very dark, but like it's so funny.
I actually didn't know who he was because I kept seeing it all over TikTok, but I recently watched Promising Young Woman. Very good. You should watch it. But he's in that movie.
He is?
Yeah. He plays.
It was like very depressing though. He like there was like one part in the special where he was like talking about like suicide. It's like, you know, I've had, what did he say? He was like, if you were thinking about doing it, he's like, you know, I've had a lot of friends do it, and he's like, it's not fun. He was just so like casual about it, so it just made it like so lighthearted, but like kind of comforting in a way too.
But I recently watched Taylor Tomlinson's stand-up comedy.
Oh, I've seen like pieces of her, but I don't know if I've watched her whole thing.
She's not great on TikTok. Like I followed her on TikTok, and she's not like. I mean, it's different kinds of comedy.
Yes, yeah.
And TikTok's not her kind of comedy. But her special that came out on Netflix was so good. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I don't actually like stand-up that much. I actually have a hard time watching it. I mean, I think there's something different about like being a woman and understanding like other women's like shit that they go through. So I think that that's just like there's just something. I guess the whole like target of just like being relatable.
I feel like women comedians that like I feel like it's more difficult for them, honestly.
Oh, for sure. I hate Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer? Is that the one?
I do love her ex-boyfriend though, Anthony Jeselnik.
I don't know.
He is just like the type of like deadpan, very serious, like one-liners, just monotone, like dead baby shit. Like it's like the thing that like catches you off guard, and you're like, I can't believe you said that. He's so funny.
Oh yeah, Amy Schumer's the blonde lady, right? Yeah, I can't fucking stand her. I feel like it almost, I mean, I'm not here to like put other women down because I'm not that kind of person, but I feel like there is a sense of like she tries a little too hard. But I love Tina Fey, and I love Amy Poehler. I think they're fucking hilarious. Mindy Kaling, she wrote The Office. I love her.
I think she's a better comedic writer than actress.
I agree.
Because I watched The Mindy Project, and I was like, some episodes I was like, yeah, and some I was like...
But I was talking to Marcos about this the other day, about, like, movies and what kinds of movies I like. And he's like, do you even like comedy movies? Because I like crippling, sad movies that totally, like, distraught you after. Like, Blue Valentine, La La Land. Oh, you've never seen Blue La La Land?
La La Land is not, like...
It is
just...
Oh, okay, my genre of movie is, like, tragic love stories. So, like, love stories that just never, like, don't work out. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I've never finished it.
Oh, my God.
And I'm very disappointed in myself because I love Jim Carrey more than anything.
I know, I'm shocked.
I know, I just think it was
it's hard
very
to understand.
long. Yeah, and it's, like, a hard concept, I think, to grasp. I think it's one of those movies you have to watch, like, a second time to be like, okay, now I get it. And so I think, like, I don't know, something came up and I never finished it. But
I mean, when I was a kid, Romeo and Juliet was my favorite, like, book. So I love a tragic love story.
Have you seen Colonia?
I don't think so.
You should watch that movie. It's on Prime.
I have everything, so I'll just look it up.
Okay. Emma Watson's in it.
Oh, I love Emma Watson.
So good. It's based on a true story of, like, some weird culty concentration camp, like, religious place in, like, the middle of I don't know what country. I don't have the details to give a good premise to set it up, but, like, it's a love story, but it's kind of like a sad, it's good.
I love a sad love story.
Good. La La Land was, like, bittersweet. It wasn't, like, a tragic...
No, it's not a tragic love story, but it's definitely the idea of, like, these two people are meant to be. I won't spoil the ending. Although even saying it's tragic might
it came out so long ago, so, like, if you haven't, and also, like, if someone watched me, they probably know about it by now. I literally have a tattoo.
I saw it in theaters. I have all the ticket stubs. I saw it in theaters like 20-something times.
Oh, not that many. I saw it in theaters a couple times.
Oh my God, I saw it so many. I'm going to send you a Snapchat of all my ticket stubs. It's kind of depressing how much money I spent on that movie. I just love movies that will break my fucking heart because I love to cry. I was never a crier for a long time. And then I started going to therapy. Then I started fucking crying all the time because I'm a little bitch, apparently. And
you're not.
and I started like, one day I just started crying during movies. And I'm like, I'm so, like, fragile. But I love a movie that will totally rip me to shreds. I also love A24. Anything by A24, I love. It's like it's a studio. They made La La Land. They made Euphoria. Love Euphoria.
Wait, I need to type that just so I can remember in case they're, like, hiring ever. I cried today listening to the radio, so it's okay. There was a story about A24. There was a story about, like, this lady who had, like, she got a puppy a couple years ago, and then after having it for a year, she lost it. And then, like, just recently, 2 years later, she, like, was like, okay, I'll get another dog for, like, me and my sons. And she went on a shelter's website, and she was, like, looking, and she's like, oh my God, that's my dog. And so she went and, like, called the shelter, and she's like, I'm, like, the original owner, like, I lost him. And she said, like, when she went to go get it was, like, screaming, like, crying, trying to, like, get out of the guy's arms to, like, run to her. And I was like, that's so sweet. So, I was, like, driving home from the gym, and I was like, oh my God, what a precious, like, so sweet.
So ever since I, like, started going to therapy, I just, like, started crying all the time. And I would and I would tell my therapist, like, why am I crying all the time? And she would be like, well, Violet, you didn't cry for, like, 16 years. Like, you're not a crier. And I was like, oh, well, yeah. She's like, yeah, we kind of unlocked a bunch of shit here. And I was like, oh, that's what I pay you for.
I don't think I cried that much either, but then, yeah, after going to therapy and, like, after, like, awful things happen to you, like, I just cry all the time now.
I feel like I was one of those people who would have, like, really bad trauma, but would shove it down so deep.
Yes.
I feel like I was never somebody who would be like, I'm so triggered by this, like, one thing.
I say that all the listen, I don't like the word triggered.
I hate it.
It's so overused. I feel like people use it in the wrong way now, but I feel like there's honestly no better word to describe when something happens or someone says something and it, like, directly brings up your trauma. Like, it's
literally a trigger.
Yeah, so, but I say that all the time.
Yeah, like, I was never a person who would, like, be triggered by anything. And, I mean, people post, like, trigger warnings and stuff like that, which, like, full-blown respect. Like, if you need that's what you need. I've never really been somebody who felt that way. But then, like, I started going to therapy for this, and then all of a sudden, everything was, like, just triggering in me, which, once again, hate that word, but it was just, like, everything would snap it, and I would, like, go to therapy the next day, and I'd be like, I had this situation, and they're like, yeah, that's how you deal with stuff. And I would be like, but I don't deal with things. I don't do that. And she was just like, well, I mean, that's why you're here, right? To heal. And I'm like, no, but not about that. Like, I feel like therapy is, like, I mean, you always say, you're always like, go get therapy no matter, like, who you are. And I 110% believe that.
My camera keeps dying, so we're gonna wrap it up. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, get my engagement up. Not that it's going very far, but like, you know, it's some of it. Like, it's nice to get like 3 likes instead of 1, you know.
Follow me on socials.
Yeah,
follow my band.
I'll put Violet's her Instagram below. Follow her band. Do you guys still post like covers?
Yeah, well, like... we haven't been doing it lately because we're recording an EP. Oh. So follow us for updates because it will be coming.
Okay.
Send love, spread kindness.
Yes, all the good energy, all the good vibes. Okay, bye.